I'm here in Nashville, Tennessee in the Richland-Weston area at the Craighead House, and the house and gardens are about 200 years old. We're going to take a walk around the gardens and look at the design. So here we've got the entrance to the Craighead House. It's actually very subtle and just kind of a side entrance. It's a nice brick patio with flanking with hellebores and anemones. I'm here today with Steve Sirls. He's the owner, and actually you're the full-time gardener, aren't you?
I am the gardener, Philip. Yeah, I'm the one.
So tell me about the history of this garden and house.
Well, this garden has been here for over 200 years, and the history from the standpoint of the garden went with the house, and basically what they would have done is grow their food, vegetables and herbs and different things for all the family members that lived here. And then it changed as, you know, grocery stores became popular, and we could add perennials and boxwood and different things.
Yeah, I see some really nicely clipped boxwoods right here flanking us.
Well, we have to keep those clipped back because if we don't, they'll overtake the sidewalk.
Sure. So you've got shade gardens and vegetable gardens and sun gardens. Well, let's walk around and look at some of these different areas. Okay. We're here in the sun border, and I see all kinds of things from herbaceous perennials to evergreens to shrubs. It looks like you've got a wonderful mix of different things.
We do have a mix, and the mix is on purpose because that gives this border, which is full sun, blooming power from basically March all the way through October and November, first frost.
Yeah, wow, that's wonderful. And it's really full, and I love that you've left a lot of the seed heads and things on the plants.
Well, that's to feed our friends the birds. They love to pick the seed out and spread those around for us, so we'll have volunteers everywhere.
Yeah, and that hibiscus looks, even when it loses its leaves and it's still got those pods, it's real fun and architectural in the winter.
All right, it really is a beautiful, beautiful plant.
So this combination right here is really beautiful. It looks like some bog sage and is that a verbena?
White verbena, yes.
White verbena. Yeah, and the cryptomeria in the middle. Just that pale blue and the white is really stunning.
I love the way things happen like that.
Yeah, it looks like the bees are really loving it too. I'm here in the middle of the border with this hydrangea, Pinky Winky. It's a sun-loving hydrangea. There's also a really pretty white Althea, I think it's Diana, perennial hibiscus, and then this big, tall Rudbeckia, and then Japanese maple right here in the foreground. The height of this combination is just awesome, and it really works both sides, you know, viewing from the house and viewing from the street. So you get kind of a screen from the street, but the street people walking on the sidewalk also get to appreciate it, which is wonderful. This is a neat little tree with some seed pods on it. Tell me about this, Steve.
Philip, that's a pink buckeye, and the beauty of it is of course it's bloom in the springtime, but now the fruit is setting, and everybody that walks through the garden thinks that it's a pear, but it's a buckeye in that little pod.
And how big will that tree get?
That tree is probably medium height. I'm not really sure, 20, 30 feet tall. It's probably in the wrong place, but I just love it when it blooms.
Yeah, it's
and
really
it takes sun, shade, extremities.
Cool. And this salvia right here, that's really spectacular. It's kind of a magenta.
Magenta, and it blooms all summer long to a first frost, and it's called Wendy's Wish.
Wendy's Wish, that's really nice, yeah. So Steve, this is an enormous hackberry that we're standing under, and it's really full of plants at the base of it. You know, people say you can't grow anything underneath a hackberry, but it is completely full.
It is a large hackberry. That hackberry is probably 100 years old, and it's the winner of the Big Old Tree Contest through the Nashville Tree Foundation.
Wow.
And everything under this tree is something that blooms from December the 15th until December the 15th, which gives me great pleasure because we start with the hellebore fetidus that starts December the 15th, and you have that wonderful blooming power there, and then on down to the mahonia, which gives you the green in the winter, and then hostas for the summertime, and perennial begonia grandis, which is one of my favorite things, and you can tell by the dark red on the back of the leaves how wonderful the plant is.
Wonderful. Yeah, so you've really got something going on here. Not only are you growing something here, you've got something blooming year-round.
Under a hackberry. Proves everybody wrong.
Steve, this is an interesting little water feature. Did you build this, or was this originally part of the house?
No, this was excavated in the 1950s, and this is the site of the original brick kiln where all the brick were fired to build the house.
Wow.
And we found brick molds in there, and we have some of those on display in the house.
Cool, really neat. So is this house on a historic registry?
It is. It's on the National Historic Registry, and it's just been inducted into the Archives of American Gardens through the Smithsonian.
Wow, that's really interesting. That's
Yeah, we're real proud of that.
a nice little treasure that a lot of people in Nashville probably don't even know about yet.
Exactly.
So where did you learn a lot of this history from?
Well, there are many books by Sarah Foster Kelly in Nashville, who is a descendant of the Robertsons, and they lived here at one point. And I have also gone to the Library of Congress in Washington and looked up maps and different periodicals that are written and are still on display about this house and the 350 original acres.
Wow, so you've tried to make it kind of as historically accurate as you could with your modern twist.
As possible. With 206 years, it's really tough to get
Sure.
everything very accurate. In researching the Smithsonian project, we found a lot of things that we're adding to that history as well.
So Steve, I can also tell with some of these newer plants and pots and everything that you really add your personal style on it because it is somewhere that you live. So.
It is, and I love it, and I really love sharing the garden with people. And most of these containers are things that I'm experimenting with, seeing what they're going to do, enjoy the color, use them in different parts of the garden. If one thing dies, I can replace it with this.
Sure.
It's just sort of a great little place to sit in front of the vegetables and watch it all happen.
Yeah. Have you tried to stay within the historical plants? And
I did try, but that's just impossible because there aren't enough things. And I have a plant habit, and when you have a plant habit, you have to experiment with just about anything you see and see what happens for you.
You mean they didn't grow these bananas back 200 years ago?
I doubt it. They weren't here from Japan then.
Wonderful.
But they're hardy bananas. They come up every year.
Awesome. Yeah. So, well, again, I just want to thank you so much for showing your house and garden to us.
You're welcome.
For inspiring garden tours, growing tips, and garden projects, visit our website at volunteergardener.org or on YouTube at the Volunteer Gardener channel and like us on Facebook.